This might be the best explanation of how to approach somebody that you want to foster a relationship with, get close to, maybe gain that mentorship from, that I've ever heard. And it was that Alex Hormozi clip. There were 2 pieces within like a 3-minute window where he just dropped knowledge bombs, and I wanted to share them with you. They're 2 just a little bit different clips talking about very similar pieces, but just remember, as always, don't be an asshole.
On game theory, they've studied this in terms of givers, matchers, takers. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but basically a matcher is somebody who's like tit for tat. You do something for me, I do something for you. You've got takers who just always want to take from everybody.
Yeah.
And you've got givers, right? And so they like basically like adjusted how much giving versus taking like a bot had in an exchange and just played it out. And the perfect amount of give to take is an 8 out of 10 giving to take ratio. So like if 10 out of 10 giving is like you're a social worker, you get walked all over, like you never draw the line.
Mm-hmm.
The 1 takers who just take for everybody, they win really quickly and then they lose
not very long,
because they screw everyone over. They can't create any long-term. They don't get the compounding effect of doing business over and over and over again with people. And the matchers and takers together never get the opportunities that the givers get because the givers give first. And so there's so many more doors that get open from an opportunity perspective by giving first. And so like a lot, like in the tech world, they talk about surface area of luck. So like people are like, like that guy got lucky. You can actively increase the surface area, or the likelihood that you become lucky by giving to more people. And then all of a sudden, more doors are open because you knocked first.
Check it out, guys. The law of reciprocity is strong. Gratitude is strong. Positivity is contagious. It's strong, right? Adding value to somebody and their life is a strong and valuable thing, right? The moment that I start to feel that like twinge of like, oh, what's this guy want again? You're doing it wrong. Like, nope. And most of those people, again, don't be an asshole. Most of those people, honestly, are blocked from my phone. In fact, I blocked like 80% of the people on my phone, and I just kind of like unblock as I reach out to people or people who are valuable. But the reality, unfortunately, is that a lot of people ask right off the bat, or they're just ask heavy. Like they only reach out if they've got questions, right? They're not adding value, or they're not thinking about stuff. Or even they'll like ask, and then they won't follow up with like, how can I, or give, right? So it's okay to ask without, like, you can follow it up with a give, but you should give more than you ask. And I mean, I've got all kinds of examples that I could give about how I did stuff like this and it worked out in my favor. Some of it was intentional, some of it was not intentional, it just played out, but that seems egotistical and like, oh look, this worked. And that's stupid. So I'm gonna give you an example of a buddy of mine, and I've got a ton of examples of people who've done stuff like this. But we're gonna go with my buddy Dean, because I still think this is probably one of the best examples I've ever seen. Dean hits me up on Instagram, and it's a big long message, but summarized as, dude, some of your friends who are people that talk real estate on Instagram that I know you like, they might be going to the ski trip with me in Colorado. I booked an Airbnb. It's a baller Airbnb. You don't have to pay for it. You wanna come hang out in Colorado, and all you gotta do is get there and pay for like your rental stuff, and we can talk real estate. I got the food the Airbnb paid for. This dude literally paid, it was like $4,000 for this Airbnb, and got like 15 people to show up. And we skied, and we snowboarded, and we hot tubbed, and we ate, and we drank, and we hung out for like 4 days, and it was an incredible time. And it cost me basically the cost of gas and rental. I mean, it was like the most affordable ski trip ever. Since then, we've done another trip to my buddy Hugh's missile silo with most of those people, and then another trip back to Colorado to ski, and we all pitched in on the Airbnb this time, and so it did not cost him as much, to my knowledge. If it did, sorry. But more people, tons of value. I mean, that was such a value add. Reach out. And I'm not saying you have to do something like that, but like that's a super creative way to give. And he got a ton out of that event, but he didn't ask for it. I mean, he did, he asked us to show up, but like he was just giving, and he got a lot out of it, and he's gotten some opportunities out of it, and I think it's paid dividends for him and for me and for everyone else, and we've gotten a lot of friendships, a lot of information, a lot of opportunities, and it's been really solid. That's a great example, and there are a lot of other great examples floating around, and so I would just encourage you to take a look at this. Like, are you giving more than you're taking? And don't be an asshole. Oh, and if you got some value out of this, right? Give, maybe like it, subscribe, share, and if not, then I'll give you more value, and maybe in the future do one of those things.